show. Oh my gosh, what the hell happened? We're at Amsterdam, which means we're 30 minutes late getting off the gate. There's so much ground traffic. What are we going to do? It's time for the FlyTampa masterpiece getting underway right now. Hang on, folks, just a few seconds longer. Wow. I mean, seriously, this is what I like to call a typical live stream day. Nothing was just going according to plan here. And unfortunately, we've lost Emilios. Emilios, he was on with me just a short while ago. And unfortunately, we've lost him because he's had to run. But he will be here in the chat somewhere. And Emilios, if you're here, you can probably type in there and say hello to everyone. He was going to hang out with us for a little bit for a quick chat. And, I've got this microphone, this Audio Technica AT2020 USB. And I got this, I think it's been about a year, if I remember correctly. I think I got this last year, or it might have been year before last. I don't remember exactly, but this thing it's a USB microphone. And so when you plug it in, it just downloads, I guess, its own drivers or whatever it is, and it's just supposed to work. And since day one, when I got it, it's never just worked. Like, ever. What's going on here? I need to go full screen. There we go. So I've got to plug it in and unplug it and plug it in and unplug it. And that's usually 45 minutes. I have to start doing that before the start of a stream. So I plugged it in, finally got it working last night. Uh-oh, someone says sound is doubled up. Uh-oh. Is there something wrong with the sound? Yeah, because this microphone is really acting up. So this thing will be getting the sledgehammer. If I can just get it to work for one more week. Oh, okay, you had the site open in the background. Yeah, if I can just keep this microphone working for just one more week until I can get a newer and much more expensive microphone. I don't like anything that's USB powered that doesn't come with separate drivers. So anyway, that's the cause of this late pushback time, is me screwing around with this microphone trying to get it to work. So finally, we're here in Amsterdam. You can see we've just passed over the threshold between FTX Europe, or what is it? Open LC Europe. Excuse me. I've had literally 3 hours of sleep. So as with every stream, my brain is going to be all over the place here. But I guess an additional apology. So, all right, so here's the rundown. So when Emilio first reached out to me, and I think he's in there somewhere, we were chatting quite a bit before the first sort of beta test copy for me to start looking at before I even got it. And we were talking a little bit about the project and when I could start doing a live stream and everything. And so then he hit me back and said, okay, we're going to send you the first copy, something like, tomorrow night. And then are you, and I had already asked him, are you good to, come on and do a Skype, sort of interview thing like we did in the past. And he said, yeah, I think we can do something like that. And then we talked about potentially maybe releasing it during the live stream, all this stuff. So anyway, so when he finally hit me back and he goes, okay, DeAndre, how are you for doing the Skype on Friday? And I think this was like on Tuesday or something. And I'm like, yeah, all right, let's do it. We can do this on Friday. So then that led me to think, okay, we're doing the Skype interview live stream on Friday. And then I went and told all you guys, all right, Skype on Friday. And then Emilios was like, well, actually, no, just the Skype between us to do a dry run to make sure everything is working properly. And I was like, So that's why. So then I had to come back and say, well, actually, sorry guys, we're not actually doing the stream itself on Friday. That's just going to be Emilios and I. So I know that pissed off quite a few of you. Then we came back a second time. And I was like, okay, no, we're just waiting. I'm just waiting on another final build. And then we're going to do the live stream again. And so then the scenery just like got released. So I guess Martin, I guess he's out of town or something like that. And I guess he just kind of, whatever the latest candidate that he had, I think he just went on ahead and put up there. So yesterday morning, let me see, I didn't go to bed until, let's see, today's Monday, so that would have been Sunday morning. I think I went to bed at around, 5 o'clock in the morning. And as of 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, my time zone, there was no news, nothing yet. So then I just kind of passed out here on the floor here in the living room under the Christmas tree, and then the wife wakes me up at about 12 o'clock. Because she bought tickets to the Star Wars movie, and she's like, everything is sold out, so we have to get to this 1:30 showing, or we don't see it at all. So then I'm scrambling to wake up, and I've only had a few hours of sleep from 5 to about 12, so that's not too bad, I guess. And then my phone is just like, 40 emails and Facebook messages, and I'm like, whoa, what the hell is going on? Usually, whenever I wake up and my phone's going off like that, there's a release that happened over the course of my slumber, and all the readers are trying to wake me the hell up. And so then I look and everyone's like, it's released, it's released, it's released. I'm seeing all these emails and all these Facebook and release. I'm like, what the hell's been released? And then I think I got down to like Amos's text, because I usually open his first, and it said he's like, I hope you're not sleeping because Amsterdam's just been released. And I'm like, no. And then I saw another, and they're like, Ben from Airline to Sim streamed it, and I was like, no, but yeah, so that I was like, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. So I'm thinking, how did that happen? Because we were not even ready. I was still waiting on another release candidate. So I had to go off to the movie because we were rushing out of the house. So there was really nothing I can do. So I'm like, all right, let me just grab a screenshot, type release, so at least everyone knows, because I know a lot of people will check Air Daily X and not check any other site or anything for news. So if I don't publish anything, they just won't know. And so I went on ahead, tossed up a screenshot, said release, went out to see the Rogue One, which sucked literally all the way up until the last 10 minutes. Up to the last 10 minutes, it was like, wow. And then up to about probably literally the last 30 seconds of the movie before the credits rolled, that's when I won't explain what happened, but at that point, if you've already seen the movie and you know what I'm talking about, like, that's where the movie was just getting started for me. And then boom, credits. I'm like, what? So finally, I was able to get back home and catch up. And so now we're here. Today's Monday, and now we are finally at Amsterdam. You can see now with our little helicopter flying around here, we're just skirting literally the outskirts of the threshold of the scenery. You can see that some of the blending between all of this custom autogen and photoreal, and the blending between that and Open LC Europe is actually quite seamless. So we've got nice photoreal coverage, a lot of custom autogen, and pretty much the way that Emilios and his talented team, just like with Copenhagen, is that they don't just do the airport. They go well beyond that airport perimeter fence. And as you can see here, flying over all of this lovely additional works just outside the airport, just makes that approach coming into the scenery all that much better. So anyway, I went to bed this morning because I've been running tests and doing stuff all night. So I didn't get to sleep this morning until just shy after 6 a.m. And it's now what? Is it 9:30 now? Yeah, it's 9:30 now. It's supposed to start at 9 o'clock, which is 1700 Zulu. So I'm just now getting underway. So Emilios was here with me, and was fumbling around with the doggone microphone. He really wanted to come on and just say hello to everyone, and thank everyone for the scenery and everything. And so 20 minutes now. So what I did was I left the computer on last night. I'm like, all right, you know what? Before I go to sleep, I'm just gonna leave the computer on. I'm gonna leave the mic plugged in because it took me 30 minutes to get the microphone running. And then I wake up and half asleep, I come downstairs and push the damn power button on the computer. Because that's what I do every day. I wake up, before I even scratch my ass and get my coffee, the first thing I do when I wake up is come downstairs and turn the computer on. So because that's just what I'm so used to doing every day, that was just, and before I realized it, right when I hit the button, I was like, oh. So that's why the stream has taken an additional 30 minutes to get started, because it's taken that long to finally get this microphone up and running. So if I can just get through the holiday season here, I'm going to tell the wife, first thing on my list, we're going to try that Rode Podcaster mic, which is about twice as expensive as the one I'm using now, but it's got headphone monitoring and a lot of good reviews, and so that'll be I guess the gift for me this year. So anyway, thanks everyone for your patience as always. For those of you who are used to the Air Daily X live streams, I never start on time anyway. So, but hopefully some of you are like, don't tell me that asshole freaking drug us through the mud 3 times in a row and now he's just not going to show up. No, we are here, we are live, and we are officially still looking at some of the coverage area here. Are we back in the open LC Europe, or are we still over the coverage area? I believe we are still over the coverage area. So I do not believe the coverage area actually extends all the way to Amsterdam proper, but we do get a huge coverage area of this massive freaking airport that you Dutch folks built, which I think is one of the coolest airports in the world, and certainly for me the coolest in all of Europe. So someone on Facebook told me, make sure you give a shout out to all the Dutch people. So this is a shout out to all of our Dutch viewers who are watching live. This is your home, so welcome home, but welcome back home to Flight Simulator. For me, my first trip out to Amsterdam was was it the winter? It was either the winter or the summer. I believe it was probably the summer of 2005. So a little over probably 11 years ago, my first trip here. And if you saw on Air Daily X, I posted a video of my first flight there. I was departing from Zurich on the Avroliner, and I actually happened to get lucky that day. I decided to wake up early and head over to the airport and see if I can get an early flight. And the thing I love so much about Zurich is when you not Hauptbahnhof, but when you get to the airport itself, there's a check-in counter, or at least there was then, where it's like the second you step off the train in the train station, there is a Swiss ticket counter. And I just thought that was just so cool. Like, I can check in and leave my bags in the train station and just go straight to the gate. So that was really awesome. And then when I get to the gate, I'm like, is it going to be another boring A320? And they're like, no, sir, you're going to get a Jumbolino. And I'm like, what the hell's a Jumbolino? And I'm like, you mean like the Avro? And she was like, what the hell is the Avro? And so, but I guess or at the time they called it the Jumbolino. But anyway, finally, when we got out to the plane, I was super excited and had my trusty Sony CyberShot recording the whole thing. So I think some of you guys saw that video. So it was nice and sunny departing from Zurich, and hellish weather going into Amsterdam, cold and dark, and which I loved it too. That's how I love it. So and that was unfortunately the only time I've ever had the opportunity to fly on an Avroliner. So I don't think I'll ever get that opportunity again. But what a wonderful, terrific airplane. And I even got a business class upgrade too. I sat right in that first bulkhead right before the engine, so I got a nice view with my little camera there. So the second I got home, I was like, oh my gosh, I need an Amsterdam scenery. And Cloud9, which a lot of the team members was previously part of Lago. So if you saw my interview with Matthias Koch at FlightSimCon, the name Lago came up because Matthias Koch used to be part of Lago, and then after that he went to work for Aerosoft. Umberto Calapiccioni, the guy who's behind FS Dream Team, he was, I believe, part of Lago, and then he went off and became part of Cloud9. And Cloud9 created Amsterdam, and then Umberto went off to do FSDT. But anyway, so Cloud9 was really like Cloud9 and FlyTampa were like the top two senior developers of that age, if you guys remember that long ago. So I went off and bought a copy of Cloud9, and I had been using that Cloud9 version for, gosh, ever since I finally made the move from FS9 to prepared version 1. So FSX, and I've said it many times, FSX and I just never got along. We've never gotten along. But that version 1 of prepared corrected a lot of the reasons why FSX and I never got along. So FSX. So yeah, that was kind of the reason for that. So I'm actually seeing some flickering textures here, and that was one of the things that Emilios was most worried about. We never saw any flickering textures when we did this whole Skype session. We were together on this thing for like an hour, and there were no flickering textures. And then of all my tests that I did last night, there were no flickering textures. Now I'm seeing some flickering textures. So sorry, Emilios. Not sure what's happening there. But if you are using wide aspect ratio, you might want to turn that off. I certainly did. But I don't know why I still saw some flickering textures there. But anyway, so yeah, that Cloud9 Amsterdam I've been using for a long time now. Dream Factory Studios, if that's the correct name, they went off and did a version of Amsterdam quite a few years ago. And I think I always felt that was a bit ambitious for that team in particular. Their quality was okay, but I know that a lot of people, present company included, really wasn't too happy about or with that release and with the quality, and there were just a lot of things that were really weird about that airport. So I never really made the switch there. I pretty much just decided to stick with the Cloud9 version up until I was no longer using FS9, and then for me there was just no more Amsterdam at all, period. So, look at this. Russ Lynn from Turbulent got a little treat for us today. We'll get to that after the stream. So, yeah, I was just simply without an Amsterdam. I was like, you know what? If I can't have it 100% beautiful, I'm just not going to have it. Here we are now. I'm just making my run again back out here to the sticks because this was the runway that we came in on. When we landed, and I didn't have the Amsterdam scenery. We didn't have Google Earth back then, so I didn't know what the runway configuration setup was for Amsterdam. So when we were on that final approach, I'm like, where the hell are we? We are out literally in the middle of nowhere, and then proceeded to take us, forever to get to the gate. I'm like, wow, we're like on a road trip through the countryside of the Netherlands. Do we land on a street somewhere, and now we're just trying to drive to the airport or what? Because this runway is like freaking far. But yeah, so then Emilios told me in advance, I'm thinking of doing Amsterdam next. What do you think about that? And I pretty much hit the floor because especially after his Thessaloniki, which was it's still one of my top 10 favorite sceneries of all time. I'm thinking, man, yeah, this would be a really good project for Emilios. And so at the time, I don't think Copenhagen was actually released yet. But they started the project, I believe, in tandem. And he sent me, I think, like a shot of the tower or something like that. Hey, we've started. And then, oddly enough, Aerosoft announced that they were starting Amsterdam at the same time. If you guys remember that was kind of funny. So I'm assuming that Aerosoft is no longer doing Amsterdam. I'm not 100% sure now. At this point, I would imagine that they're not. I haven't heard any updates on that for quite some time. But I remember those announcements kind of coming around in tandem, and I know Emilios was like, "Well, I'm committed, so I'm hammering this baby out one way or the other." And so kind of the rest is history here. Still seeing some stuttering textures. Emilios, if you are still here, I'm just wondering if he has any advice for me. I know he said he would be watching and typing, but I don't know if he stepped away or not. So Nevertheless, we are finally here, and there are a lot of features about this scenery that I'm really, really excited to show you, and a lot of things that really blew me away. Now, one of the big things here, and I'm going to come back around to the motor right here, because one of the biggest things that I heard a lot of comments of people saying, if he doesn't get the taxi bridges, I'm not buying it. If the road bridges and all that stuff aren't there, I'm not buying it. So all the 3D bridges are here. You can see we have some animated car traffic. This is all, of course, part of the scenery itself. The control panel is quite extensive for the scenery, and I should just give the disclaimer now. All of the highest settings and most popular settings that come with the control panel is in use here. So, but that does come with a significant drawback, and the drawback being is I could not even load up the PMDG 777 or the Aerosoft A320 without getting an out-of-memory error before the scenery even finished loading, and that's just because I have all of the features turned on. So you might ask, why are all the features turned on? And the reason is because I don't think any of us are really going to be able to fly into or out of here with all the features on, so you may never really see them. I think what'll happen is you guys will buy it, you'll find the sweet spot that makes everything work, and then that'll be it forever. So at the very least, for the purpose of the live stream, I wanted you guys to be able to see it with everything turned on. If you only ever see it once, and then you'll probably never see it that way again. So as a result, I can't really throw anything too heavy at it. Okay, Emilios is back here. Let's see. Oh, Emilios is on a train. Okay, he can't comment on Twitch because he's actually riding a train and he's losing connection. So if you guys have been trying to reach out to him or ask him any questions, that's why. Let me take my hand off the stick here real quick. Okay, so he probably can't even see the stream anyway and see that we've got a little bit of flickering textures. So in the beta version that I was using prior to this, actually everything was working just fine. We didn't come across any stuttering textures or anything, and that's kind of the crazy thing here. So now that we have the final build, after flying around here in the beta version for a little over an hour and not having any stuttering textures, now we do. So anyway, what I'm going to wind up having to do here is launching, I have a freeware 737 because that's the only thing really that's light enough for the simulation to kind of handle and still maintain VAS and everything else. So as a result of that, I won't be able to throw any heavy aircraft at it. So you just saw there we were flying over one of the canals there. You could see that again, water was running underneath the taxiway. So all of the bridges here are animated. So when you go over a roadway or a canal, it is all 3D. And there are some stuttering textures again as well. I didn't see those this morning, so maybe it's just a live stream. Once I go live, all the crap hits the fan. And as you can see here, you have these runoff areas, and all of those have been water masked as well. So one of the things I want to show first, before we get into the airport itself, is the ground poly here and the ground textures, as well as this really lovely specular mapping that Emilios has done. And this is really amazing. In fact, here's something fun for you. So I was chatting with the lead developer on the PDX project. That's right, Portland PDX. I always keep saying there's a developer that's developing Portland, and everyone's like, who the hell is doing that? Well, anyway, he and I were on a Skype chat a couple of nights ago, and he was really curious about Amsterdam. And so he said, okay, so what do you think of it? Do you like it? Is it really, really good? And I'm like, dude, Emilios' Amsterdam is freaking awesome. And he's like, yeah, I know. What did he say? He said, I feel like Blueprint compared to Emilios. And this guy's one of the top well-known developers in the community. But he's like, yeah, I feel like Emilios. I feel like I'm Blueprint compared to Emilios. And I'm like, dude, shut up. But anyway, so he was saying, so, what features do you like about what Emilios did with Amsterdam that you would like to see in Portland and PDX? And I'm like, well, to be honest, I mean, you guys are like pretty much neck and neck, development wise. You guys are freaking like, you guys are right up there with each other. So I don't know if there's anything he could do or that he's done that you aren't doing. And then I thought about it, and as I looked at the scenery, I'm like, you know what? You got to do that specular mapping thing on your ground, probably, because I don't think I've seen you do that yet, and that's really freaking awesome. So we took a look at it. I gave him a quick look at it so he could see it, and of course his jaw dropped the whole time, and then it's funny, when I talk to certain developers and I show them another developer's work, they sit there and badmouth themselves and, basically praise the other developer. And I've seen other developers do that in return. Like, I literally had one developer, hang on, let me pause the stream here real quick. I literally had one developer say about another developer, oh my God, I am just crap compared to him, when showing him the other developer's work. And then on a separate occasion, I had the other developer on talking about that other developer, and then him saying the same thing, I am so crap compared to that developer. It's really weird being in my shoes and talking to developers and hearing what they have to say about others and how they feel about themselves. It's so hilarious. But anyway, so I'm just going to move the time around here a bit because I want you to see that specular sign. So as I'm moving kind of the slider here, you can see that. And that's what I love here. So we see this in I believe his name is Evgeny, that really, really talented Russian developer that I love that did Salzburg. We see a lot of this in his scenery. So just moving the sun across the horizon real quick, you can see that. So depending on your cloud coverage and your time of day and blah, 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 you can really see that really well. So I was telling him that's one of the things I really liked in with the Amsterdam scenery, and so I told him, yeah, definitely make that happen in PDX. So he's like, all right, we're gonna do it. So there you go. So like I said, there's a lot of features about this scenery that I really love, and one of them is coming up right here, and I'm gonna have to pause so that we can all take a minute to look at it, and we're coming up on it right there. Look at that. So this is one of those areas here where any developer could have said, you know what, this crap is going to be really complicated to add this. And across Amsterdam, you've got cargo areas that are you've got runways everywhere, okay, going in just about every direction that we have in the world. So yeah, Amsterdam has a runway for every magnetic compass heading. So you've got to have all these roads going underneath the runways. And so this is something that's really easy where any developer can just say, you know what, I think I'm going to we'll leave that to Photoreal because this is a feature creep area. And to manipulate the terrain, to do all of this, that's going to be too much work. Not with Emilios. He did, and everywhere where you have these little crevices of roads and stuff that are below the ground level, he's done it. And so that's one of the first things that really drove me crazy about the scenery. In fact, let's go to the external view here real quick. Let me see here. Let's zoom out just a little bit. And let me come around again here, just so you can see that. And so not only does the scenery have that, but additionally, there's traffic that goes down there as well. If I can just move into position here. Look at that. So, and I think there's another one. I think if we turn around and go this way, let me turn around and go this way. Anyway, this is the beautiful, last I was here, this whole apron was full of Fokkers. And now I think it's E170s or E175s now. So I never got an opportunity to fly on a Fokker, and that's one of the few aircraft along with the DC-9 that I'll probably, it will always just be a dream that I'll never get to fly on, and I'm sure that's the case with many of us. So at the very least, hopefully we'll get a decent Fokker sometime in the future. Let me see. Is it over here? I think there's another area around here somewhere too, where he kind of does that again. Somewhere around here. All right, so let's go ahead. Well, before I address the 900-pound gorilla in the room, which I'm getting ready to do here in a moment, let me just get to the chat really quickly, see if there's anything interesting going on there before we move forward. Always try to make it a point to acknowledge that there are actually people live and commenting and chatting. And so if there's anything interesting there, give me just 1 second. sometimes people have questions that they want to ask, and I want to make sure I can get to them. So give me just 1 second here. Let's see. Zoolander's here. Welcome, buddy. And a shout out to all the regulars. Amos, Rolio, Renee. Haven't seen that guy here in a while. Ben from Airline to Sam, who's about to release that 777 training program. And it's funny because I just installed my 777s last night because I wanted to show them in the stream today. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. But now they're installed and ready to go. I'm really looking forward to that training program. That's going to be a lot of fun. And Ben and I will, I guess we'll have a bit of a live stream too for that release as well. And we're hoping that our captain will come on and answer some questions and tell us some stories. And that should be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for some news coming from that coming up soon as well. Ben from Airline to Sim. And Raymond Vanderplug, or Pleg, I'm pretty sure that sounds Dutch. So let's see. And just scrolling through the comments here, just seeing if there's anything worth note to point out. Let's see here. Mad Dog 1999. Guess what? Banned. Jackass is asking the best way of how to fly into the World Trade Center. So, yeah, of course, when you've got 205 people watching live, I guess, oh, did you guys ban them yet? No? Okay, well, I've just banned them. So, yeah, the trolls are out to play, baby. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Just working my way through the chat really quickly, seeing if there's anything that, that pops out here. Nothing too specifically. Oh, TV something or other's asking, do I know about GSX in combination with this add-on because runway choosing and config GSX is not working? Yeah, that's another thing too. Thank you. I need to point out about the scenery. So the big thing about the FlyTampa, or not FlyTampa, the let me just scroll through here a little bit more. The big thing about the old Cloud 9 Amsterdam, and for those of you who remember Project AI, you guys remember that? Gosh, I've been simming for, what, almost 20 years, and I'm 35, gosh. For those of you who remember that old Cloud 9 Amsterdam back in FS9, one of the big issues with that was the Mexican standoffs with the AI traffic. And I guess the issue with FS9 is I don't know if maybe, in fact, I don't even think they've really changed the way that AI is handled between FS9 and FSX and Prepared. I think the algorithms that's used to handle AI is probably still the same. But Amsterdam, I can tell you two airports that have always been the worst when it comes to handling FS9, in my opinion, and you guys might correct me or you might have an airport that you think is equally as bad or worse, but Amsterdam is number one, and number two is Gatwick. Those are like, you got one airport that's got too many damn runways going every direction, and then Gatwick, where you have just one runway, and it's a nightmare. It's a complete nightmare, and so you wind up with AI doing these Mexican standoffs, doing these stare-down competitions, blocking all the damn taxiways, blocking the runways, go-arounds everywhere, every freaking runway in use, so AI is now playing games of chicken in the air over the airport. I mean, it's ridiculous. So one of the biggest concerns and questions that I had about the scenery was, okay, how are they going to handle the AFCAT? How are they going to handle all of these runways? Because the way Flight Simulator is going to handle AI, it's just going to be a freaking nightmare. So here's the thing. In the configuration tool, you have four choices. You have north, you have south, you have east, and you have west. and you can only have one direction, which obviously should be obvious, but you can only have one direction active at any given time. So right now I don't have any AI turned on because we'd be getting a little bit of stutters, but I will turn on AI for you before I end the stream today. But basically, you can only have one direction going at any particular time. So regardless, if you're using active sky and the weather changes, in other words, by the time you take off from somewhere and then you get into the airspace down over here, and the weather changes, whatever the case is, whatever runways you had selected in use are pretty much the runways that are going to stay in use. And that just keeps Flight Simulator from just allocating whatever freaking runway it just whatever feels like, and then there's airplanes all over the place. So if you're using an add-on like GSX, and GSX, if you want to select a certain runway, you actually can't. And the same thing goes for starting in the simulator. So let's say, for example, Emilios is talking here. Let me pull up the phone here. So let's say, for example, you're firing up the scenery for the first time, and you want to start on runway 24 or whatever. If that direction is not selected in the FlyTampa control panel, then that runway will be closed, which means it'll be completely disabled in the AFCAT, which means you will not be able to select that runway for departure. So as it pertains to GSX, if you're at the gate here and you want to use a follow me to the runway because of low visibility lighting or whatever the case is, if that wind direction is not set in the FlyTampa control panel, that runway will be closed. Let's see. So Emilios is saying here in our Skype chat, he's saying there is an awesome post by our FCAT developer on FlyTampa forums explaining the runway usage. So before we end the stream, someone remind me, and in the stream here, I'll just come in and we'll take a look at that. I probably explained it kind of in layman's terms here a little bit, but that should give you something of an idea. Now about that 900-pound gorilla in the room that I was talking about a short while ago, and that is the terminals themselves and internal modeling. There is no internal modeling here, and I did speak with Emilios about that. Internal modeling. I'm talking so fast, and I'm so excited. Internal modeling is, as you guys know, that's something that is kind of a trademark for me, and one of the things that I love to look for in airports, and it's not here. So let me just address that really quickly. Even when I spoke to Emilios this morning, one of the things that he was most surprised at, given the amount of numbers that they sold already, and it's funny because when we were having our Skype conversation, he was asking me, he was like, "So DeAndre, do you really think Amsterdam is going to do well? I mean, just level with me. I mean, do you really think people are really going to buy it? Do you think it'll do well in sales?" And I'm like, are you insane right now? I mean, you're going to be a millionaire probably by the end of the week. And he's like, really? I mean, do you really think it's going to sell that well? But anyway, his concern was obviously performance. Concern was vast usage and allocation. And so what he wound up doing is he's basically said, well, as far as, and he says, right off the bat, he says, you notice there's no internal modeling. And I'm like, yeah, And he goes, well, here's what we did. We started the process of doing the internal modeling. And if we decide to fully go through with it, it's not going to take us long to implement it across the airport. But in this version, in the initial release version, the reason why we decided not to do it is because we're just really concerned with the number of support requests that we're going to have with the airport, and we're anticipating there are probably going to be a lot, and so I didn't want to throw too much in the scenery too quickly and add too much to it. So we obviously do all of our testing, all of our beta testers do their testing, but it's not until the product actually gets released to the public do all the real issues, start rolling in, because everyone has a different PC configuration, everyone uses different add-ons, and you're never really gonna, run into the bulk of your issues until after it's already been released. So, he basically said, I want to get through, those first, that first month or so, and see what issues are going to arise from the public. And then from there, I can kind of get an idea, of what issues need to be addressed, what's going to need to be updated, et cetera, et cetera. And then we can go in and start looking at adding the internal modeling that we've started to work on, as well as any other features that we were thinking about. So in talking to him this morning, he's like, oh my gosh, we have not really had, any, we've only had like maybe a few support issues. And we thought by now, within that first kind of 24 hours, there's usually a lot of support issues. And I'm just really shocked. And I said, well, that's either a really good thing or a really bad thing. And he goes, well, we've already sold a lot of copies in the first 24 hours. So I'm guessing that's a good thing, that a lot of people aren't complaining. So people must really be enjoying the scenery thus far. So just to address that, there is no internal modeling, but it all depends on how that those first several weeks are going to go, and then they'll look at going back in and implementing it after that. So right now, as far as performance is concerned, I'm getting, where am I at now? It's jumping between 35 and 60 frames per second. So even in your stream here, you should see things are pretty fluid. I mean, there's no stuttering, no jerkiness or anything like that. It's really, really fluid, very smooth. So that's a good thing. But mind you, there's no AI traffic running right now. So you can see there the airport is like a scene from The Walking Dead. All the airplanes have died and have gone off somewhere, and it's literally just the airport itself. So we'll add in some AI a little bit later on here in the program. Ladies and gentlemen. And then we can take a look at that. So, but in the meantime, one of the things that I've done, as I mentioned before at the beginning of the stream, is I've activated all of the features that are currently available. So one of them you can actually see right now. And in fact, let's go say hello. And this is one of the reasons why I couldn't tackle the Aerosoft Airbus or the PMDG 777, because all of these additional features are taking a chunk. And one of those is the FlyTampa animated peoples. Let me see if I can just get a little bit close here. And that there's a young man and a young lady. Hang on here. What's that little ski jump right there at the edge of I'm guessing that's for baggage. That looks like a little ski jump there. Hey, yeah, man, it's so weird. I woke up this morning. I know this is not a Dutch accent, but we'll just pretend they're American and they're just working here for the weekend. Yeah, I came out to Amsterdam for the weed, and then when I got here, I found out that not only did they legalize it in California, right, but then freaking Donald Trump got elected president, so I left the country and moved to the Netherlands, and now I'm working here. But then I get here, and there's no freaking airplanes. What the hell's going on? Yes, well, sometimes there's no airplanes when they first open the airport, because they want to give us some time to do the live stream. Yeah, I get it, but it's just so weird. Oh my God, I'm so high right now. Anyway, so there's a conversation between those two. And that's interesting, though, that little baggage drop there. Can anyone, I'm looking at the size of the people flow and the size of that baggage drop, and I'm like, can people really reach that? So anyway, this is the terminal. So here's what Emilio's is if you can go back to our FlyTampa live stream of Sydney. Sydney also does not have any internal modeling. George has not decided to go that route yet with his sceneries. Martin has with Toronto, and Toronto is freaking amazing airport. But George hasn't yet. So one of the things that was really one of the most common compliments about the Sydney scenery is everyone loved the way that the glass textures were done. And that was one of the things that I said, along with many others as well. As we said, if you're not going to do internal modeling, then this is definitely the way to go if you're going to do glass textures. So in this particular scenery, this is what Emilios has adopted. Now, if you go back and you look at Copenhagen, he obviously did a huge job. Oh, it's a time for a water break. The old voice is cracking. He did a huge job with the internal modeling with Copenhagen. So in this case, it's like, well, why not do it here as well? So they have the ground laid out to do it, and he said it won't take them long at all to implement it. But right now, they want to know if they implement it and then the first thing that comes in is everybody screaming that they're getting terrible performance or whatever, then there's no point. So we'll wait and see how these first few weeks are going to go. But in the meantime, and many of you, if you elect not to use the internal modeling option anyway, if and when it gets released, you have basically the same method that was used in Sydney in terms of how the glass was done here. And just coming up here, I want to kind of show that a little bit better as we get a little bit closer to these textures here. So you can see how that was done there. So, I mean, all of the textures here are just looking fantabulous, especially those ground textures. I mean, it is just, I'm going crazy over this airport right now because I've been waiting so freaking long. And, of course, that's the case with many of you as well. I think we've all been waiting so long for a proper rendition of Amsterdam, and who better than FlyTampa? Now, I did mention this I believe in the live stream of Jacksonville. Again, I'm on a couple hours sleep, so you guys just have to bear with me. But if you recall, about maybe it's probably been 2 years now. But Flightbeam had this up on their website. They had this secret scenery. Oh, wait, let me cut myself off. Here it is again. There it is. The little things where all the vehicles drive underground and all that. Look at that. There it is again. So throughout the airport, everywhere where the vehicles go underneath, he's modeled these little crevices here in the ground, as opposed to just relying on photoreal. So again, I gotta tip my hat off to that, because that is a lot of attention to effort and detail. That's why I love this guy. What was I talking about? Flightbeam. So, yeah, they had intended to make Amsterdam. That was their big secret project. If you remember back then, that was a couple years ago. There was just this, Phoenix and Dulles and Denver. I think that was actually before Denver was out. So I think it said Denver coming soon, and then the fourth box was unannounced. And so I think they had some hired help on that one, something like that. I don't remember the story exactly, but I think the hired talent went off to do something else, and the project didn't quite get completed or whatever. So they had to move all their manpower over to their current sceneries, of course, one of them being San Francisco. So unfortunately that never came to be, but hey, FlyTampa nailed it. So I think we're all just about equally as happy. So this is Amsterdam of 2016, and that means no over-the-wing jet bridges anymore. That was a staple of this airport that I really, really loved. And I remember, again, when I first flew into Amsterdam, I didn't have a scenery. There was no Google Earth, so I didn't really have a really clear indication back then of, how nice the airport was or what the layout was. But I remember when we were taxiing to the gate, and I remember the first time seeing that jet bridge over the wing of an aircraft, and I'm like, oh my God. I've been in the airline industry now for almost 18 years, and I had never seen anything like that. We don't do anything over the wing. Oh my goodness, that seems very dangerous. But they had these over-the-wing jet bridges to really help accommodate deboarding passengers a lot faster. So chances are, if you were the cheap poor person, and you were sitting in the back with the chickens, you were boarding the aircraft over the wing. So those are all gone now, as you can see here, and we don't get to see that anymore. And I don't know. I'll be honest with you. If there's any feature that Emilio says, okay, what do you wish was in the scenery that's not there anymore, or that we might add at a later date, I would say Emilio's toss in a couple of those over-the-wing jet bridges on at least like 1 or 2 gates, just so that we can have that. It's like Amsterdam not having over-the-wing jet bridges is like London not having double-decker buses anymore, if that makes any sense. So that's kind of the case here. It's like, I miss it, and it feels like it should be there, and it's not. So another thing I'll point out, you can notice there is a lot of ground clutter, a lot of ground vehicles and people in that FlyTampa control panel. You can set that to lower settings. So this is everything basically set to max. So again, at least for the purpose of this live stream, if you never have any of this in your setup, because a lot of you are really going to be scrimping for every percentage of ass that you can possibly get your hands on, you're definitely going to be turning off a lot of these features. So at the very least, if you never see them in your own setup, you can see them here in today's live stream. So let me just pop back in and see if there's anything here going on in the chat and see if Emilios has said anything. Oh, yes. Hang on. Let's see what Emilios is saying. Emilio says he forgot to say that he's on a train right now somewhere in Europe, by the way. So he's texting me from the train. He says we forgot to say we've enabled terminal shadows in this version. So you can go ahead and turn on sim objects, cast, and receive, and it should look pretty cool. Shadows are deactivated for most other parts of the airport, but it should be okay. So I guess we can turn that on really quickly so that you can see that. Hang on a second. Because that was one of the things that in our little Skype date, as we were looking at the scenery during the Skype screen share, we actually turned all that stuff on, and it actually looked pretty cool. So there's no aircraft or AI or anything here, so now would probably be a good time to turn on a bit of those shadows so you can basically see what all that looks like. So your screen's probably going to go dark here for a second. Give me just a minute. I'm going to turn all that stuff on. Okay, so object shadow cast distance. Sim objects, we want to turn on cast and receive. And also we're going to be checking the no shadow flagged content. So we're going to turn that on as well. I'm going to take another drink of water because my voice is I'm like getting to that. And then let's give prepared a minute to load all that. Actually, I'm going to leave you guys here in just a second. I need to get some more water here. Hang on just a second. I also need to make sure that I keep an eye on the time. I'm lucky today. I actually have a fairly well-known Australian actress that's visiting my house this morning, and she and her mom, friends of the family, she and her mom will be here in probably 45 minutes. So I have to make sure I'm done before they arrive. So. Yes, I have some famous friends. So I have to make sure I keep an eye on the time because that'll be so weird. Them walking through the door and what the hell are you doing right now? You're okay. Let me adjust these clouds here because you're not going to see shadows probably if there's too much cloud coverage. Or you know what? Let's do it this way. Hang on. Let's try this. There we go. So just so that we can see some of these shadows here. Just move that out of the way. Let me see here. So we should be able to see here. You can see here underneath the jet bridges, we have some of the shadows there. In fact, let me spin around here really quickly. There we go. And Emilios is still chatting with me here, so give me a second. Let me see what he's talking about. So now here you can see here we have the objects, even like the light poles are casting shadows, jet bridges, and the buildings will as well. And I'll pause that there real quick and just move the slider again for you one more time so that you can see that. You can see those shadows dancing around there. So, and that's the no shadow flat content there that we're looking at. Let me see, what's Emilio saying here? Oh, no shadow flat content should remain unticked. Oh, sorry. I thought we checked that before. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. Let me go back into lighting and uncheck that. Okay. Oh, he says because then we'll get shadows everywhere. Okay, so I've unticked that, and let's see if there's much of a difference. There we go. Let me see. Actually, let me try this real quick. Let's do that and that. And as we pan around here, we can kind of see the shadows here. So if you're one of those who likes to fly with all of your shadows enabled, that's how it will look like. I rarely use those shadows, to be honest. But I've got to start doing that more often. So there you go. Just kind of doing a complete 360 panning here so you can see that. And there it is. The next thing, actually I'm going to turn the shadows back off now though, because it's a little too dark with the shadows. You can see how much darker things get once all those shadows are enabled. So I'm just going to turn those back off for now because it looks a lot brighter without them. And easier to see details as well. So we'll come in and take a look at, let's take a look at the main airport entrance areas. You can see there Amsterdam has no short of 20 control towers and 50 runways. Another feature about this airport that I love. So you can see when we were flying in earlier, we were seeing some stuttering textures here, and now we're not seeing them anymore. So that's kind of a bit random. Jordan King was actually going to put together a quick little video for us for the live stream, but he said that he had saw some flickering textures as well, and he didn't want to show anything in a negative light, so that it didn't wind up working out. But it's funny, I'm not seeing any of those flickering textures anymore here. We're just going to touch down here on the plaza really quickly. Just make my way through the comments real quick, and then we're going to take a look at the hangars and cargo areas and the night lighting. Let's see. Let's see. Just trying to see if there's anything. Someone's asking to take a look at hospital helipad and all that. Is that stuff actually included in here? I'm not sure if I saw that in the feature list. And Rolio saying the colors on the static Fokker are incorrect. Interesting. Is it in the new colors, or is it in real life? Is it in the old colors? I'm not really sure. Airline 2 Sims asking, what are DeAndre's PC specs these days? You know what? I haven't updated that yet, but they are on the news page. If you go back probably 5 or 6 pages, they are on the news page. So yeah, the new jetline system has gotten a complete overhaul, or I should say it's a whole new system, really. So yeah, I'll need to update those system specs, because the ones you see there are not the most recent. So here you can see here we've got billboards, got the Sheraton Hotel, and of course we also have that new Hilton Hotel. And actually, one of the things I didn't mention to Emilios during our chat was that one of the things that's missing is I don't think there's any lighting on that hotel at night. So that's one of the things that I would like to see. That's assuming that hotel is open already. If it's not open already, then maybe there wouldn't be any lighting. This is actually something I'm noticing for the first time. I didn't realize that you could see through the first top 4 or 5 floors of this hotel. I completely missed that before. I'm trying to get the helicopter in here to take a look. Hang on. There we go. I actually did not notice this before. You can see all the way through that. That literally just caught my eye. I'm like, wait a minute. I actually did not notice that before. And so here are all the various terminals. You can see there the car parks are nicely done. There's even trees, multi-story car park. And it's all hollowed out. It's not just like a one 3D object. So you do have a complete car park there, a multi-level, multi-layer car park. And here we have the new and old Hilton hotels. So the only downside here is on the new Hilton hotel, the building logo doesn't light up. And none of the lights of the building light up as well. So that's probably one thing that maybe would be nice to see in a future update, because all those nice looking windows and stuff, that would be a nice thing to see at night, how this building lights up. And I'm willing to bet too that this building was designed in Holland as well. That's one of the things about Holland is very, very interesting architecture in Holland. Very interesting architecture. Once you get outside of the old city, everything just has this sort of modern, contemporary look and feel to it. These little glass ceilings here, I don't think you can land on that, right? These would be like perfect little quasi-helipads if they were, but I don't think they are. But I'm curious. I'm always looking for a place to put my skids. I doubt it. I'm going to sink. Yeah. All right. So let's just make sure we go full 360 around the airfield here. We're going to take a look at the hangar areas, and then we'll take a look at the night lighting and jump in an airplane and just kind of taxi over the bridges a little bit and kind of show that. Again, here you can see a lot of attention to detail. There are some stuttering textures that I hadn't noticed before that are there, but look at that detail. Very nice. So we have finally the full 3D taxi bridges. So I know that Taxi to Gate is supposedly supposed to be releasing Charles de Gaulle this month. I haven't actually reached out to find out how that's coming along, but that's going to be the big question with that scenery when it's released, is if all those little roads and highways running underneath the airport have been completed, because Simwings have said they're going to go back and update theirs, but I don't see Simwings really going out of their way to add that level of detail. So unless they intend to completely redo Charles de Gaulle from scratch, I'm not really optimistic about a Simwings remake. or a Simwings update. I mean, we've seen what they've done with a lot of their current airports, and whereas they've brought them up to whatever the modern current day conditions are in terms of buildings or runway and taxiway or apron layouts and stuff like that. But as far as implementation of like all new techniques, I don't think we're really seeing that. So I don't necessarily see them going in and adding in all those roads and stuff, that are carved into the terrain, if you will. So I'm really interested to see if Taxi to Gate's going to do it. And in fact, the last I spoke to Caesar, I think that was one of the last things I told him before he started the project, was like, make sure you do that, because people are going to hate you if you don't have, the actual taxi bridges, or if you try to get away with like photoreal and stuff like that. So we'll see. That's going to be really interesting. So we're just making our way across the airfield here. You can see there we got the Martin Air hangar and KLM. As well as, what is that? What does that say there? Oh, Transavia. Interesting thing about Transavia, it's nice living in Southern California and seeing Transavia 737s flying overhead every other day. It's like, because you get so used to the same airlines over and over and over and over. And seeing Transavia fly into LAX almost on a daily basis with their 737s is really nice to see. Now, a lot of you are asking, wait a minute, Transavia doesn't fly to LAX. They sure as hell aren't flying 737s from Amsterdam to LA. So why is it that you have Transavia 737s flying to LAX almost every day? Well, I'll tell you, because I guess they have a bit of an agreement with Sun Country Airlines. So if you live in Amsterdam or if you work at AMS, you probably see Sun Country Airlines during the summer months flying into Amsterdam on a regular basis. So basically what these two airlines do is they swap each other's aircraft. So during the, I don't know if it's during the winter months here, I think they use Transavia aircraft and then vice versa for the summer in Amsterdam or whatever. So both airlines are really kind of small, and they fly to mostly like vacation destinations and stuff like that. They're not, so they don't need a full fleet year wide, so they swap each other's aircraft. So the aircraft will essentially be Transavia. All they'll really do is just take off the lettering and then just put like a little Sun Country decal, but the T logo, the colors, everything is still there. So it's really nice because you're walking past it on the ramp or something, you're like, that baby lives in Amsterdam. So it's nice to see that every day. It looks kind of weird seeing a Transavia aircraft with a Sun Country logo on it, but if you've never seen it, you can go on airliners.net and just pull that up, and you'll see that. So it's really nice when you see a Transavia 737 and a KLM 747 at the same airport. That is not Amsterdam. So very interesting stuff. And just kind of just making our way around the logistics corner of the airfield here. What time is it? It's 10:34. Oh my gosh, my time is running out. I might still be running when our actress friend walks through the door, and she'll just have to sit and wait until I'm done, right? Air Daily X readers come first. That's going to be so weird if they walk through the door and I'm doing this. Just making our way across here as well. We have the Menith Aviation. Is that how you pronounce that? I think that's a Scottish word, right? Menzies, Menith, something like that. And again, across the airfield, you can see there's the tunnel coming back up underneath the airfield. How much would I love to see Martinair MD-11s populating this area over here? I remember running this thing in FS9, Cloud 9, just 100% maxed AI. Everything just slid over to the max and still getting like 70, 80 frames per second. Those were the days! Not so much anymore, unfortunately. We have to make concessions. A lot of talk lately. Oh, wait a minute. Is this internal? Look at this. Hey, a little bit closer to that. I did not notice that. This is actually kind of transparent, this cargo warehouse here. Look at that. You can kind of, there's like a little bit of an effect there. You can kind of see through that. That's pretty cool. Usually developers tend to spend a lot of time working on the terminals themselves and kind of just not putting that same amount of detail into cargo areas. But hey, we've got cargo haulers out there. I've got the 747 coming out soon. I know you guys are happy about that. Got the 777. So yeah, it's nice to see some really good detail in the cargo section as well. I get the feeling that the overwhelming majority of flight simulation enthusiasts are flying commercial passenger flights. So very, very interesting. And we have Swissair and DHL and a couple of others. All the building logos, of course, present. Oh, I like the way the glass was done over here. Look at that. This area was really nicely done. Very nicely done. Look at the detail done there. These are probably some of the most detailed cargo warehouses I think I've seen at an airport. Developers, take note. That was actually a treat. I didn't actually get down on my knees over in this area before, so I'm kind of seeing this for the first time along with you. From a distance, from across the airfield, it looks like it's just photoreal. But once you get close to it, you realize, no, that's glass. Look at that. It looked like photoreal from across the airfield. It really did. Look at that. That looks really nicely done there. That's impressive. And it probably lights up nicely at night, too. Let's take a quick look. Now I'm really curious. Okay, a little bit of lighting there as well at night. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, so that's pretty much the logistics area for the most part. I know there's going to be a lot of sightseeing for you guys. Look at that! Look at that little bridge right there. That little rope bridge going over the over that runoff there. Just all the little details. Emilios has really gone out of his way to put in all the little details into this airport, and that's what just makes this so fascinating. I mean, he really has taken the time to do every little thing, and I love it. This is such a beautiful airport. All the little things that I would look for or try to point out have been done splendidly. So, without a doubt, this is the Amsterdam that we've been waiting for. Certainly, speaking for myself, it is definitely the Amsterdam that I've been waiting for. So let's go ahead and I'm going to land the helicopter over here. We're going to switch into our aircraft now, our fixed wing, so that we can taxi over some of these bridges here. So again, just to remind you, I cannot whip out the big heavy aircraft because I will definitely run out of memory, and I just don't want to risk running out of memory and having to restart the simulator during a live stream, because that takes a while. So in fact, I hope I don't run out of memory just changing aircraft as it is, but I think we should be okay. I'm gonna grab one of the freeware 737s that I have here, and we'll use that to taxi around, just so that you can get a feeling of what it's like to be from the 3D virtual cockpit perspective. But additionally, we just get that whole kind of view from that area where we can also test the jet bridges. So your screen's going to go blank here for a second while I switch aircraft and while I power up Trek IR so that I can look around. I know I haven't been getting to the comments too much. My time is kind of running out because we started 30 minutes late, which puts me behind here. Where's Trek IR? Where the hell is that damn antler? That's what happens when you go wireless. Shoot. Where the hell is it? Oh, there it is. Ah! All right, let's grab that airplane. Sorry, your screen's blank for just a second here, but if you see the Air Daily X logo, that means we're still live. I don't even know which aircraft. Any freeware thing will do. I think that should be fine. Okay. And let's plug in Trek IR real quick. You can even see those cars in the motorway out there. In the distance, if you can see that. And I see there's a few of you sending me private messages in the chat. If you could just anything you want me to know, send me an email. That would be a lot better, because I can't really respond to some of that stuff in the stream. Let me see here. Oh, that's already set. So should that work? Yeah, I think so. There we go. And let's switch back to the virtual C pit. There we are. So I know it's not, your NGX, but it should still give you that same perspective, taxiing around, so we can see the airport from ground level, because obviously when you're flying in and out of here, you're not going to be just using a helicopter all the time. So so far we didn't run out of memory. So thank goodness for that. Let's see here. There we are. So at least we get some kind of a means of being able to kind of taxi around here. Let's see. Where's the taxi bridge? I need to go this way, right? Let's go this way. Want to drive over at least one of those bad boys. I hope my guests will be fashionably late. Okay, let's turn right there. We'll make this little right turn here. I'm like way off the center line. All right, come on, let's move. There we go. Oh, and the de-icers as well. That's another thing, a part of the FlyTampa GSC that which looks really nice there. They're all, it's in the summer, and they're all up and looking like they're ready to get to work. I don't think that's a seasonal change. I think they're probably just going to sit out there all year long. I'm sure during the summer months they probably park those things off into a garage somewhere. All right, so now finally we're on the ground taxiing around. Going to go over one of these bridges here. You can see there we're not seeing that stuttering textures anymore. There's your cars going underneath. I'm probably going to drive off the bridge because I'm not paying attention, but how would that be any different from any other live stream? And while we're down here, let's oops, why did I touch that? That's not what I'm looking for. Oh, another thing that I have activated as well, in that control panel, there's an option for low-vis lighting. So if you notice, in the middle of the day, the runway lights were on all day. So if you've been trying to figure out, like, why are the runway lights just, like, constantly on in the middle of the day, that's an option that you have that you can set with the scenery. And so I elected to keep that on. I thought it's pretty cool to have that runway lighting on. Which is all day. So I'm starting to see more and more developers do that, where you can just have your AI or your runway lighting on and taxiway lighting on, stuff like that all day. I think it's a really nice feature. So now we get to take a look at some of the night lighting here, which is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I'm all over the place here. I guess we should try to find a gate and park, huh? Let's see here. We want to find a narrow body gate somewhere. Still seeing some flickering textures on those hangars off in the distance there. Okay, where are we going here? We'll head over there. We'll head straight to the center. Do I dare turn on AI? You think I'd screw it up? Let's see what happens. Maybe just since we're on the ground now. By the way, so I think it's at VATSIM that's doing this fly-in. That's that's going to be OOM City. All those aircraft on the ground, all those PMDG 777s and shit. I don't know, man. I think that's pretty ambitious. I wish I could watch it, but I'll be at work during that hour. So I believe I'll be at work. I think they said 16, or maybe I won't be. I don't know. I have to go back and look at the time that they're going to do that. But oh man, you figure it's like, all right, only but 300 people or 400 people will show up to that thing, and they're heaviest aircraft they got, and then they're all flying in there. I don't know. That's going to be crazy. I just tried to turn on AI, so I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to find out here in a second. I see Misha's here. Amsterdam. All right, let's see. Is there any AI here? Ah, there we go. Much better to taxi around and see the airport kind of come to life a little bit. So this is 20% AI right now. My frames have dropped to between 19 and 26 frames per second. So I want to get at least some AI to kind of show this airport coming to life a little bit. So there's some life in the old girl, some AI there. Oh crap, I'm all over the place. Let's go to the external view. I'm just curious, with the 20% AI that I selected, how many airplanes does that put on the ground here? Quite a few. That's not too bad. Let's pull up to a gate. And let's see here. We'll pull up to a gate here. And we'll test the jet bridge animation. Some really remarkable night lighting here. Look at that. So yeah, I think the only other thing that I would want besides at least having at least one over-the-wing jet bridge, because I think a lot of you nostalgic folks are going to want to just have that. You're going to come in with your 747 or whatever it is, and you're just going to really want to experience that. So I would say 2 features, throw that in, and I think Emilio should go ahead and add the option for, let me turn that label off here. I think Emilio should have that option for that, I think he should add it for the internal modeling. I think so anyway. As you can see here, we do have animated docking system. It's not 100% accurate. We'll see how far it lets us go here. Oh, that was a funky turn. Let me see if I can clean this up here. It won't give you left or right turning options, but at least it'll tell you how far up you can kind of pull here. So let's see if it's going to tell us to stop or if we're going to run into the building. Oh, there it is. Stop. All right, we shall stop. Let's see. I need to activate FSU IPC because I don't have a parking brake. There we go. And, okay, jet bridge animation. Check. And there you are. And this does not use the SimObject display engine. I know that I guess that's a bittersweet program. Some people love it and some people hate it. With FlyTampa, it's just the Control J option, which is I'm perfectly fine with that. He didn't quite pull up to the door there a little bit, but I guess that's good enough. But we do have Control J jet bridge animation. So that's pretty much Amsterdam, guys. I think the other technique too that Emilio said is with the what's that called? The runway edge lighting and taxiway edge lights too. So I think that's a new. Why are those baggage carts in the middle of the taxiway? I didn't notice that before. Or maybe that's really the gate, huh? Yeah, I guess that's still on the gate. This used to have like dual taxiways in here, and I don't think they're doing that anymore. So that's also a new update, because if I remember correctly, there was like, you could have 2 aircraft taxiing in here at once. Am I remembering that right, or am I not getting that right? I don't remember. Damn, the last time I've been to this airport, it was on British Midland. It was a British Midland A320, or A319. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Emilios is asking, is this a freeware aircraft? Because it's probably a backdoor assignment. Yeah, it's just some freeware airplane. The only thing that I can really load up with all the features activated right now. So, but ultimately, guys, this is really it. I mean, I encourage you, definitely head over to FlyTampa and get it. It does have a winter texture because it very seldomly snows, but seldomly means it still does. So there are snowy textures as well for the winter. In fact, let me just see. Your screen's going to do something really funky. So that's not you, it's me. Where is the FlyTampa configuration thingy? FlyTampa. Oh, configurator. I can't run it while P3D is running at the same time. When you get it, you'll see it. There's a lot of options there that you can really choose from. So it's really your heart's content, whatever you like to have activated or deactivated. So obviously, you'll probably wind up turning the people off. There's a lot of the animated traffic you can switch off. What else? You can turn down some of the ramp vehicles or turn them off if that's pushing a bit much. Grasses too. So grass, as many of you know, grass wreaks havoc on these airports. So right now, I didn't even show the grass. I had the grass turned all the way up. I didn't even show it. This would be a great time to use that chase plane so I can just go over there and look at the grass. But why do I have a feeling it's not going to work? Let me see if I can. Yeah, I turned the grasses on to maximum because that's going to be your one of the biggest things you're going to either turn down or turn off. I didn't even show the grasses. Oh, please don't crash. Sometimes when I plug in something new or deactivate something, prepare it crashes. All right, let me turn on chase plane real quick, and we'll just see if she's gonna be nice. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Okay. Track IR is paused. Come on, just work for me. Okay. Oh. Wow. Okay. It's doing something weird right now. Shit. Yeah, every time I load chase plane, something doesn't work. So, all right. Well, anyway, you'll just have to take my word for it. The grass is there. So let me just go ahead and exit that. Very interesting that all of a sudden EasyDock would go ahead and make this announcement that they did. I think chase plane is it. That's the future. We only really need one camera, and I definitely think chase plane is definitely the way to go. It's still in this like alpha stage, just kind of open alpha that they've got going on here. So unfortunately, it doesn't always work for some reason whenever I use it. Either all the Xbox controls that I assigned disappeared, or they're assigned to something else, or it just doesn't work at all. So it's kind of a Russian roulette. So, but every time I turn it on, there's also a new update. So they're always very actively working on it. But hopefully, we'll get a lot of those bugs worked out. So. Pretty much in a nutshell, guys, this is it. Finally, we have Amsterdam, and this is the airport that I have been going crazy about forever, and now it's finally here. Let's see. Oh, wait, let me see. He's asking about something else, I think. Emilius was asking me to try a preview of something. I'm not really sure. But Emilio says it's the first time he's gotten to sit back and enjoy actually watching his product come to life. So thank you, Emilio. Sorry we couldn't have him on. He's on a train right now somewhere in Europe, so we couldn't get him on live. He did make every effort to come on, and I did have him on here for that first 30 minutes while the stream was late, and then he had to go. So my apologies, but I will definitely make sure I have a new mic going forward, so we don't have that problem again in the future. I'll just make one last run on the comments here before we go. And mind you, I've got a lot of live streams coming up here over the next week. So make sure you just kind of keep your eyes peeled on Air Daily X because, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's still getting released. Oh, is Graham from Paxim here? That is so funny. I was just getting ready to say that Salt Lake City is going to be released soon, and I've got to get to that. Graham is here from Paxim. I don't know if he's still here. I'm not sure how long ago that was that he was here. So it's always nice to see other developers showing up to the stream. And you'll be next, Graham. Get ready. Oh, so Renee says the old Hilton building has actually already been demolished and needs to be removed from the scenery. So, yeah, the other thing that I pointed out is that it just doesn't, or is it lit up now? I can't, where is that Hilton? It's over there on the other side, but I don't think it's lit up at night. Or is it? Oh, no, it is lit, huh? It's a little bit white there. Oh, you know what? It is. For some reason before, I didn't see it lighting up. And that other version I have, it is lit up. Okay, there it is. So, I guess they need to get rid of that older scenery. Seeing a lot of really positive comments. It looks so real. A lot of positive comments about the scenery. And apparently a lot of you bought it already. So usually when I ask a developer within the first 2 weeks of a release, I'm like, so how are sales? And they're usually like, oh, I don't know. I won't know at least for another month. But according to Emilios, the first 24 hours have been really, really good. So, really nice. Let's see here. So, a lot of comments here. People are really, really happy with the scenery. So, the only negative thing that we've really seen is there's just some flickering textures in certain areas around the airport, and I'm sure they'll take another look at that. In fact, Emilios and I might do another Skype session and see if we can narrow that down as well. Let's see. Oh, Misha says, I know where you live. I'm going to install the NGX. No, the purpose of not using the NGX or the 777 or anything else is I would just run out of memory. I tried it several times, and I couldn't even load the scenery. It would crash before the scenery would even load. So if in order for me to do that, I would have to turn all those features off, but then that means not showing them. And to me, it's more important to show the features and put a piece of crap airplane in there than to put a great airplane in there and not see the features. So that's why we went that route. So I think, Misha, weren't you in Amsterdam recently? Didn't I see you hanging outside one of those windows? No, I'm joking. Let's see. And Nolan is here. He said, am I using that manager? I'm not sure what manager you're referring to. Ben says, I think the stream is hitting you harder than Shadowplay on my... Yeah, that's true too, Ben. If you were using Shadowplay, that definitely is a lot better. I have to use OBS because I need to switch back and forth between windows. Shadowplay doesn't really offer anything like that yet that I'm aware of. Let's see. Oh, and Jano, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce your name, but he's saying that their airlines are all at their right gates. So, I'll tell you what, I'll boost this baby up to 100% AI and watch the shit hit the fan. We're getting ready to end the stream anyway, so if it wants to crash now would be the time. Here we go. We're going to boost this puppy up to 100%. Here we go. Oh, God, this is scary. Oh, no, it did. Oh, you know what? I have to turn it off first. Hang on. Settings. Our actress is still not here yet. Ooh, I should get her to do some Air Daily X voiceovers. I just thought about that. Let's see here. Let's go back again and options, settings, traffic. Ben's asking, is it Nicole Kidman? No, she's in her 20s. You can think of how many well-known Australian actresses in their 20s. No, that's general aviation. Okay. Now we're going to load up. Oh, there we go. There they are. Okay, so that's 100% AI. It's actually still not bad, to be honest. A lot of blue KLMs out there. Got your Ooh, I even have the old Transavia logos on there too on some of those 737s. There it is. In fact, this very pier that we're at now. That was the last pier that I flew out of with British Midland. I miss that airline. That was a really good airline. I think they have been reincarnated somehow, but they're not what they used to be. Anyway, let's see. Anything else interesting before we go? And Air Holland is giving a shout out from Amsterdam. Another wonderful livery that we never see anymore. So I was able to turn on all the AI. Let's take a look at the Process Explorer really quickly. We've been at this for a while. We've switched some aircraft around, stuff like that. So let's take a quick look. Misha, of course, probably watching while he's working on that Santa Barbara. I'm just going to turn on the Process Explorer here really quickly. I'm going to go to desktop. And I am out of curiosity. What are we getting? It's probably going to be high. You want to get high? There it is right there. So if you can see that on your screen, not really sure. But yeah, there we go. So that's 100% AI right now. But I'm not running a heavy aircraft, but that's where we're at. So I know if I try to load the PMDG 777, we're going to OOM out. So since we're basically at the end of the stream now, so I'll just load it and we'll just see what happens. That's probably the way to go out. We'll go out with a bang. Oh, here we go. I think they're here. Hello? Hey. Okay, hang on one second. I'll give it to you. It's actually good you're running late because I'm in the middle of something anyway. Give me... actually, let me call you right back. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, bye. Okay, they are running late, so that's fine. Okay, so let's find that 777. Where are you? Let's just type in... Let's type in 777. Don't you love when CNN says some shit like that? There was a Boeing 777 here at the airport. I know nothing about airplanes, clearly. All right, there we go. I even had the KLM livery fired up and ready to go. All right, you guys ready? And away we go. Yeah, it's already frozen. I can't even click that. We're done. That's it. It's done. Let's go to FlyTampa's website really quickly. Let's find out what this baby's going to set you back. Let's see. Where's that FlyTampa? Released. There she is. Let's put it in the cart. AMS. That's the one we want. Ooh, let's just load up our whole cart. All these look good. So that's about 28 euros. So, what is that in USD? It's probably like $30, right? $30. So, there you go. $30, man. I'm telling you. He basically gave this thing away for free. $30 freaking dollars. There it is. In the forum, he also mentioned something too, Emilios, and I want to just... let me see, screenshots, texture packs. Oh, and I should also mention too, because I forgot, there are high res and low res texture packs. I am using the high resolution texture pack right now. So let's go back to the simulator. I'm sure it's gone. Oh crap. No way. Really? Really? Now you do it? Where's the landing gear? What the hell? Are you serious? I don't know. It's like sunken in the ground and there's no landing gear. But it actually loaded. I'm surprised. I could not get that freaking thing to load. What happens if I try to go inside? Is it going to load or what? Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, it's paused. That's why. Hang on. Okay, let's see. Oh, now I think it froze. Oh, no, it didn't. Now you do it? Seriously? I am freaking shocked. Like, this thing was just not loading, and now I've got 100% AI traffic. Let's check that Process Explorer again. Whoa, look at that. Oh man, we are right over the edge of the cliff. We are about to just like plummet right now. Look at that. Oh my god. But this is 100% AI. My frame rate right now is showing a steady 25, roughly 25 frames per second. Oh my god. Let me switch back into simulator mode here on OBS. I can't believe that loaded. Everything, let me tell you something. Every time I stream something, everything always goes wrong. I'm just going to go through the building here because there's no way I can turn around. Everything always goes wrong, and for once, something actually went my way. I knew we were done. I knew we were finished. I thought there's just no way in hell, but oh my god. I can't believe it. I'm getting 30 frames per second. Let's go to the VC here. I can't believe it. I just need to zoom out a little bit here. Close that window. I don't believe it. Okay, so this is 100% AI. I'm taxiing around Amsterdam in the PMDG 777. Holy crap. And I'm getting 24 frames per second. I think I ran out of memory. I hear something going. You guys hear that? That's got to be the OOM error in Windows 10, right? I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure we're out of memory right now. There's just no way in hell this is actually happening. Go ahead, buddy. Yeah, that's got to be the OOM error. Yeah, of course it was too good to be true. But I can't believe it, though. I mean, this is actually happening right now. We are out of memory, but we are still alive right now. We're kind of like my Christmas tree that's sitting next to me. You're alive, but you're dying a slow death. I know. You're alive, and you look freaking beautiful and amazing, but you are dying also. Let me see if I can get us up to one more gate. Come on, move your fat butt. Let me see if I can get us to another gate and just move the jet bridge one more time so we can see the docking procedure at another gate, at a wide body gate here. I don't know if you guys can hear that, if it's loud enough, but the out of memory error is dinging. It is dinging. Oh my god, this looks so beautiful. There's a specular mapping there on the ground. Oh man, this is actually happening right now. Look at all the taxi lights, the runway signage, and also note too, under the taxi signs you have the light that kind of casts on the ground underneath the taxi lights. If you guys can see that. Damn it, Emilios, dude, you're freaking awesome, man. I love you, brother. Let's see how long we can keep this going before it cuts out. Let's see. I really want to go around this guy because he's going so slow. Oh my gosh, this looks beautiful. Oh, there's a plane with no textures on it. I'm going to have to run this guy down. I let him go ahead of me, and I should have just taken the way. And there's that. The ground in this airport is just beautiful. The ground, the lights, everything, I'm telling you. Just, oh my gosh. I'm freaking out right now because I couldn't get with all the features turned on in the configuration tool, I just couldn't get this to work, and I really wanted to see this so bad. And now here it is. So, maybe you guys in your flying, maybe you're going to be okay after all. I don't know. Maybe not. I know that if you guys have a lot of aircraft on your fly-in, it's probably going to look like this. So I don't know. I don't know how VATSIM handles all that, but I think the 777s get substituted with something else like an AI looking model or something anyway. But even with just AI, So you guys are going to be turning your settings way down. I mean, obviously you're going to OOM if you're at my settings, but obviously you're going to turn a lot of stuff off, and you'll be just fine. Man, there it is, man. She looks great. I'm getting 22 frames per second now, so it's dropped a little bit. But even on the stream, though, 22 frames per second, I mean, we're not stuttering right now. I mean, this is pretty fluid. Just look at that. I mean, that's pretty damn smooth for 100% AI at this freaking airport of all airports. Is there a gate over here? Damn it. I need a gate. Oh, I see a gate right down there. I hope that's a wide body gate. Go on, get out of me way. I'll take you out with my raked wingtip. All right, here we go. I gotta be honest with you. I mean, even 23, 24 frames per second right now is still pretty freaking solid with all this crap turned on. So just imagine, you'll turn off a lot of those features, those 3D grasses and all that stuff. You'll turn those people off. You'll probably adjust your settings a little bit more accordingly. You'll find your sweet spot. But if you're wondering if this is doable, it's doable. I mean, now I wouldn't go trying to do a direct flight from Heathrow or Frankfurt or something like that. You might have to save your flight, stop and restart the simulator. But I mean, if there was any question if this was doable or not, I think we answered that question. I'm going to try to park on this gate. I think this is a wide body gate here. Oh man, I got to swing this freaking football field. Okay, this is going to be tight. All right, come on. Here we go. Easy does it. I'm still getting that out of memory error, but so far we're still alive. Okay, here we go. I don't even know if I'm on the center line or not. Still going forward. Almost there. I can't believe this is happening. Oh, there we go. All right, brakes. Oh, I didn't FSUIPC this thing. Oh, you know what? I don't even want to leave the simulator. Let me just change views. And it should still dock, I think, even if the jet bridge isn't connected, right? Oh, I went through that jet bridge. Ouch. Where am I here? Did this thing had me pull up like way too far? Let me just back up a bit. I don't know. I feel like that thing had me going way too far. All right, there we go. Oh, I'm going to hit the other jet bridge to get to it, but I think it's going to be a perfect docking. Look at that. I think that's going to be a perfect docking. Here we go. Almost perfect. It kind of turned there at the last minute. But that's good. So there it is, guys. We managed to get the PMDG working. Look at that parking job. That was sloppy. But, dude, here it is. Oh, my God. This is freaking awesome. Look at that. That's a screenshot right there. That's a screenshot right there. Look at that. Boom. So, folks, here we are. We are, Misha, you're funny. This is it, guys. I mean, this is beautiful. I mean, this is it. Here's your Amsterdam. Go out and get it if you haven't gotten it yet. I believe most of you already have. That's it. Oh, it's the FSUIPC VAS warning is what that is. So you mean to tell me I haven't actually run out of memory yet? Let me check that Process Explorer one more time. Let me see. I got to switch views here. Go back to desktop view. Oh, look at that. Oh my God, that's close. That is close. But again, I've got everything activated. I guess I'll stop the simulator now. I just want to look around one more time. This just looks so great. A KLM 777 at Amsterdam 2016. Guys, I'm telling you, this is the life. We are living the life right now. Oh my God. We are living the life. This is a dream come true for many of us right now just to see this. PMDG 777 at FlyTampa Amsterdam. This is the life. There's that grass too, by the way, if you didn't see it before. You can kind of see it a little bit here. Damn it. I'm so happy. I am so fucking happy right now. Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is it, guys. What is this? Sorry, hang on a second. I'm texting. Okay, so this is it. Look at those planes lining up. At least one of those guys is going to go around. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in for the stream. Again, I want to apologize about the miscommunication throughout this week. A lot of people were really ready for the stream, and I know many of you were really disappointed that we couldn't get to this sooner. And the scenery was released even before Emilios, who's the lead developer on the project. He didn't even know it was going to be getting released yesterday. So that really kind of impacted our plans. We were kind of hoping to do this whole exclusive thing. And oh, by the way, look at that. You guys notice that over here? Do you see the mouse? Look how that's lit up right there. That little grass area from this light. Just the little things, I'm telling you. So we weren't expecting it, but hey, we've made it. We've done it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Nice turnout today. I think I saw as much as 220 people turning out for today's stream. So that means that there really is a lot of interest for this airport. So for you chat moderators, thank you for keeping it clean. I really do appreciate it. Emilios, FlyTampa, you guys have done an amazing job. I am super happy. Again, just a couple things. Maybe just for nostalgic sake, throw in a triple jet bridge in there for some of us who missed the good old days. And I think they should add the internal modeling option. What do you guys think? I don't know. Even if it's just for making super cool screenshots, I would like that option. So I think Emilio should still go ahead and do it. But hey, our dreams come true. My dreams come true. This is my favorite European airport. So I am just stoked. I'm almost going to cry right now because this just looks so beautiful. So developers, you know, the whole team. I know I don't have all. It's not just Emilios, and I keep saying his name, and there are other names and other people that are involved in here. But to the whole team, you guys did an amazing job. And on behalf of the community, we thank you for your efforts. And again, everyone, for you guys watching, thank you so much for hanging out. And hey, there's more streams coming up. So if you haven't liked this Twitch page yet, make sure you do it, because I know some of my Australian people have been complaining that I haven't been doing a stream that's conducive for their time zone. So a lot of these streams are going to happen like as they release. So if I get home at like say 1 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday, and let's say Paxim just releases Salt Lake or something, you know, then I might just stream right away, and I may not even say anything on the blog. I might just hit the stream button. So you want to make sure that at least you like the Twitch page. That way you get that email that I've gone live, because there's a lot of stuff coming out this month for the Christmas holiday season, and I really intend to get to all of it, as well as catching up from a lot of the stuff from November that was released that I missed because I was waiting on the new computer to arrive. So just make sure you stay tuned, guys, and make sure. I know your credit cards and wallets are like dead or dying right now. But keep in mind, there's still some good stuff still yet to come, and we're like just barely past the midway point in December. So anyway, Head over to FlyTampa, grab Amsterdam. It's $30, $30 for this. That's it. That's like nothing. That's not even a tank full of gas. Seriously, go out and buy it. Buy it direct from FlyTampa too, by the way. I know that it's available on a number of other retailers, and that's done for your convenience. But if you can and you're going to buy it, please buy it direct from FlyTampa, because a lot of these retailers will take 30% from our developers, and that's a lot of money. If you do that 30% times, let's say 1,000 sales or 2,000 sales, I mean they take a huge chunk. So my position on this is, if the developer sells directly, buy it from them directly, because they get more money in their pocket, and that in turn allows them to invest more money in the next scenery that they otherwise wouldn't have if you get it through the other retailers. So definitely wanted to make it a point to say that, and that's with any developer that sells their stuff directly. So anyway, I have to run. But thank you again so much for hanging out today. And what can I say, man? Amsterdam is here. Make sure you check out that fly-in. I'll post the news up on Air Daily X as well for those of you who want to watch that big fly-in that they have coming up, I think on the 30th of this month. So I'm hoping to be able to watch that live too. And if someone streams it, I'll host the channel or put it up on the page, because I think that's going to be really fun, watching everyone fly into this gorgeous airport. So stay tuned for news on that. Otherwise, everyone, it is, what is today? Today is Tuesday. Is it Monday? No, it's Monday. That's right. It's the beginning of your week. So hopefully I gave you something nice to start off your work week. And hey, enjoy the rest of the week, everyone. And I'll see you again soon.